वेलकम टू रेडियो जिंदगी। मैं हूं आपके साथ में ईरा एंड वेलकम टू द शो कोविड लाइफलाइन शो। हाय संजीव, वेलकम टू द शो। हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
Thank you, Ira, for having me on the show. Considering what we have accomplished in last 3 weeks, I am doing okay now, but there is a lot more we need to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we go further, listeners, this program is supported by Droices, NTTVC, and the IIT Delhi Excellence Foundation. And we're also live on the Radio Zindagi Facebook page, so you can definitely view this conversation over there and also leave your questions and comments in the comments section. And I'm sure Sanjeev would love to address those questions. So, Sanjeev, last Saturday, we had this United Against COVID event. It was a global summit. Why don't you tell our listeners about what happened in that event?
So, it was very overwhelming. Some of you may have watched it. For me, it was very emotional. With the collaboration, and people came from all over the world to support this tiny initiative we have taken here to help some people. And UAC initiative is very simple. Save life, one life at a time. Everyone is as valuable as everyone else. So we stand for just saving lives. And when we talk about saving life, it's an interesting lesson learned for me, Ira. There are only two things important: oxygen and hope.
Wow. Yes.
And it is fascinating how hope works and does miracles. I have seen it. I've seen so many people coming back from the hospitals, coming back from ICUs. Yes, they got the treatment. We are even hearing things like, fake injections and all of that. 90% people who got these placebo, I'm calling it placebo. I mean, it's bad what people are doing, but they were cured. And that is what UAC stands for. We have to give people hope. We have to bring and we have to give them oxygen. And in some case, oxygen can be just hope. Just saying someone that I'm here for you is enough. And that's what really worked, all I can tell you. Yes, we make some difference. Yes, we are able to help a lot of people. Thousands of people we help getting hospital bed. We have several beds of different hospitals set up for the COVID. A lot of phenomenal work people have done. But in reality, it's nothing as compared to the population we have in India. In reality, what's happening on the ground is really still terrible. Eastern states in India are really hurting.
True.
Small villages doesn't even have oximeters, which is strange. I mean, we are talking about 21st century and we don't have that kind of infrastructure in a phenomenal country like India. So our healthcare system is completely exposed and we need to do something about it. And that's what I'm learning. We are getting a lot more details and information on the ground. But coming back to United States, coming back to the people in Europe, coming back to the people in South America, we are getting huge support. The whole world is united to solve this problem. And when we talk about United Against COVID, and you have even asked this question, Sanjeev, what is your vision? So it started with a very simple vision. Can we help some people? And a lot of people join hands with us, and now it become more of a global initiative. We are getting support even from, we are talking to UNICEF, we are talking to people in Europe, we are talking to people in Brazil. Problem is pretty serious. Distribution of oxygen concentrator or distribution of just oxygen is very complex. How do you provide this oxygen concentrator and oxygen at different locations wherever there is a need? So supply chain is becoming a huge issue. Think of it like if we have to exchange oxygen tanks between California and Nevada, I don't know even if we have a system like that.
Okay.
State level, yes, we do, but not at the state to state.
So
and county to county, city to city. I don't know. Do we have a system in United States where I can move these devices from Fremont to Santa Clara? I doubt.
or SMA, you were able to do it in, with countries.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You have helped more than some people. Your vision was about some people, even one person, and you've been able to achieve much more than that. You've not just given hope
Not
to those
me.
people.
We.
When I say
Radio
you,
Zindagi is equally part of it.
when I say you, I mean the team of United Against COVID, the people who are UAC, the people who are United Against COVID. So, it's definitely more than some people, and it's definitely more than just hope that you've given to some people. So again, I was present at the event that happened on that Saturday, where you had people from all over the world. You had these leaders, people who are actually making a difference, a part of that summit. So, since I was there, I can definitely ask you to share with our listeners and viewers, what did they talk about, and also more importantly, what were the most important takeaways from those leaders who spoke out at that event?
So there are several challenges out there, and I'm not going to go over the challenges because challenges are too many.
Right.
And so we have identified few key areas where United Against COVID will continue to make progress or continue to work. So there are short-term initiative and long-term initiative. Short-term initiatives are basically two: getting oxygen to the people who need it, doesn't matter what, whether concentrator or generator or cylinders, whatever is needed. Number two is vaccination. The biggest problem I do see is not going to be availability of vaccination based on the understanding I have today. Is going to be convincing people to get vaccine.
True.
Which is bizarre in a way and complex too, because I'm not an expert of vaccination. I don't have a lot of understanding that how mRNA-based vaccine work, how DNA-based vaccine work, how the whole system will work, what is the long-term effect and all. But at this point of time, I don't see any other way out for humanity. So we have to vaccinate 70% of the world. And today, it is still less than 20% of the world being vaccinated. In the United States, it's less than 50%. So the challenge is, how do we stop that? So that's another area. So short-term goal is, how do we become part of the solution, not the problem? How do we help governments and non-profits arrange oxygen as well as vaccination? So these are the short-term goals. Okay. Long-term goals is, since most of us are affiliated with the different institutions in India, IIT, IIM, and few other major institutions. So there are a lot of students. So we have like almost 11,000 students in IIT Delhi alone. A lot of them, they lost their parents. Their parents lost jobs. So situation is pretty grim. And some of these kids come from a pretty humble background. So one ask we got from the IIT Delhi and other IITs is, what can we do? Can we start another COVID scholarship fund? So that's the long term, which is still a short term, but it's a long term initiative we want to work. And we are calling it Adopt a Student. And we are going to create a framework which will be open to anybody. Any institution, doesn't matter whether you're from IIT or from Jammu University or from Delhi University. We will share the framework, and if they need any help, we would like people to come. And I believe that is the best way to help India today. If each of us in Silicon Valley adopt one student, we change the world.
Totally.
And I'm thinking long term, it's not just about paying their fee. If one of us start mentoring one kid in India who is 20-year-old, now he has a role model. He has somebody to look up to. He has somebody to go to for advice. Somebody he can relate to. Imagine the world we can create in the next 10 years. These are going to be Sundar Pichai or Bill Gates of the next, or of our future. I am very excited when United Against COVID team brought that idea. Of course, it's not easy to execute. We are working with IITs, we are working with other organizations that how do we execute it? But that's one key initiative. Other problems we see is healthcare worker shortage. But more than the healthcare worker shortage, The big problem we see is people trained in trauma. So first responder, we find there are not enough people in India who are trained. And it's not just Indian problem, actually, I find. It's a global problem.
Okay.
There are very, very few countries, if we take the Western countries out, have well-trained first responders team. So what are first responders? First responder, there are two things in our body which are super critical. Our lungs and our heart. As long as these two kept working, there is a possibility we'll be alive. So interesting. And what we find is most of the people who are even working in this ER facility or ER environment, they are not trained to take care of our heart and lungs. People don't even know how to use these ventilators, which we are donating and shipping. There is not enough infrastructure, training infrastructure there. And this, you can't train somebody in a minute or 2 minutes. It's a very complex science. So I'm talking to a Padma Shri doctor. He's on the board of India's Medical Association, pretty amazing guy, doctor, very senior doctor. And we are partnering with him, and we are looking to talk to some major medical colleges in America. Can we create a 1-year program which goes with the residency in India? So it's not an additional time or additional program, and it trains at least few doctors or few future doctors in trauma. And possibly they become trainers. So that's one idea we are working on that. It's a long shot. There are a lot of complexities around licensing and approval and all, but still it's doable. But it is apparent, Ira, that collaboration is needed. We can't work in isolation. You saw in UAC, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have entrepreneurs, we have government officials, we have public servant, we all, even NGOs, we all have to work together. This problem is not going away. And I'm really glad the kind of response we got from global community, not just India, global community.
Global, definitely. And yes, it would not be an exaggeration to say that you are a very well-connected and well-resourceful, person. So when you talked about UAC and you said, that there were people from all fields, even NGOs, a part of UAC. So we know it's a long battle, but can we safely say, or is it safe to assume, to think that the efforts that UAC had set out to achieve, would it be safe to say that those efforts are being accomplished?
So efforts are being made. Results, future will tell. Work we are doing, yes, it is saving lives. I can say that with full confidence. It is saving life. It's bringing a lot of awareness. It's brought a lot of people together. Short term, yes. Long term, time will tell. I'm hopeful. I am committed. Our team is committed. We are still finding ways how can we take it to the next level, but we want to finish it. We don't want to just be a project. Initially, it started really as a project that can we send some oxygen to India, which we are able to do. We are able to even ship tankers from Kuwait with our supporters. So a lot of good work people have done. Now in long term, can we fix some chronic issues and create a template and model which we can give it to other countries too. So it's not just about UAC helping India. What we are really looking at it is the framework we are building. Can we pass it to other countries or other organizations so they can take it and then work with that?
True.
I'm getting even the support from Doctors Association from India. They reached out to us and they said, "Hey, can we work with you?" And I was really wondering, we are just a bunch of engineers. What do we know about treating people? They say, no, you guys are united. You are at one place. You make things happen. See what you have done. So you shipped more units. I said, no, it's okay. But see what you have done in this 1 week. You even put together thousands of people at one place and one voice. So the big thing I learned is once we collectively work, miracles happen. We work in isolation. We work one person here, one person there, nothing happens. That's a big lesson for me. So we have to work together to solve the COVID problem. Another big problem India is dealing with right
Hmm.
now, which is a global problem, is this black fungus.
Yes. The
So,
latest feather in the hat.
yeah, latest challenge for humanity. How we say that? So,
Totally.
latest challenge for the humanity. The problem era is this problem is going to continue.
Hmm.
This virus mutation will continue to happen. No one is safe until everyone is safe. So each one saves one. These are the two key slogans I am going with, and I'm telling everybody each one saves one. Because if we start saving one person at a time, we will be able to save humanity. The challenge we have it is all of us go and we say, hey, I'm going to solve the problem of a billion people. No, let's solve the problem of one person. Let's solve the problem of one village. Let's solve the problem of one city. Let's solve the problem of one area. And then we can build and create framework which we can apply everywhere. And that's the approach we have taken. We have taken few areas, we work there. So our belief is once we build these framework, we can pass it on to other people who can do it. But the mutation will continue. In fact, my dear friend Anu Acharya has published a paper. If somebody wants to read it, you can look it up on my LinkedIn. It's there about different kind of variations and how the mutation is happening and how this mutation is going to continue like any other virus. This is not different than any other virus. Virus does mutate. If we don't get vaccination, I don't know what will happen in 6 months here. I don't want to scare people. I'm a very optimist guy, but if we have to know reality. So
it's
coming
not
back
even
to
about sorry, it's not even about scaring people. I mean, if that helps, then why not? Get scared, get vaccinated if you think you're getting scared. But it is actually a very sad state of affairs that despite everything, you still in today's time have to convince somebody to get vaccinated. It's probably the most obvious step. There is a vaccine, get it, take it. You're not going to become Deadpool if you take the virus, even if you don't trust it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I've taken it. I've taken it.
I'm here.
My kids have taken it.
Exactly.
My parents have taken it. My brother has taken it.
I personally do know some people who've not taken it, and I don't even know what to say. So, and also when it's your humility and your sense of humor when you say we're just a bunch of engineers. That's not true. You and your bunch is much more than just a bunch of engineers. You're the leaders and the technologists and doctors, everybody coming together. So Sanjiv, these leaders and technologists and doctors and NGOs and everybody who's coming together to work on this cause, how is everybody planning to go ahead on this, and what are the next steps?
So next step for UAC, we will publish in a week time. We are formulating a plan.
Okay.
We have already started working on the framework for creating a adopt a student initiative, and we will encourage every single person to do it. That's number one. We are also looking at the reskilling. I don't know how much can we do from UAC, but we will work with some non-profits so we can provide them some infrastructure so they can think of reskilling the people, because there are a lot of widows, a lot of people lost their spouse,
Yes.
a lot of kids lost their parents. So it's just a pretty sad state. But let's focus on the people who are alive. There is something we can do for them. We can't do much for the people who are dead. Sorry, I'm being a little, not emotional, but it's a reality.
It sounds like gloom and doom, but then that's the truth. I mean, a friend of mine knows somebody else, and there's just a 6-year-old girl who's left in the family because both the parents and all her siblings, everybody's died. Now they're just that girl is left. So we all know stories of people. We know people who know other people like that. So it may sound very morose and very all gloom and doom, but that's the reality, and we cannot run away from it. And the only thing that we can do is work towards it, right? Because
so there is a huge problem. I don't know how to handle it. Like orphanage, which were getting really good in India, it was pretty much in control, and
yes.
It's another big problem now. I don't know how we will handle it. Even child trafficking concerns me. What keeps me up in the night? That's one thing keeps me up in the night.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it up on the show, but reality is this is the hard fact. These child predators, these kind of people, this is a fertile ground for them.
Totally.
What are we going to do about it? So there are a lot of initiative the world has to take. Again, we have a very limited Understanding there are two ways we can help as a UAC. We realize by raising funds and identifying the right people on the ground and help them do what they are doing, what they are supposed to do. And second is really bringing good people together, whether it's from government sector and NGO, collaborate and provide frameworks so they can go and execute on different aspects of it. So one, we talk about adopt a student. Other thing is people are talking about reskilling, even trauma centers, all of those things. But UAC will take a lead in terms of bringing all these people together, helping them connected with the right people, such as I shared with you, medical colleges and all. And that's where we believe our role will be going forward. And we are looking for people, the people who are listening to us, do reach out to me if you have anything for us to do, any initiative you want us to take, anything we shouldn't do, please do share with us. We are here, we are open, we want to collaborate with everyone.
Absolutely. That is also going to be my next question, because we are literally 4 minutes away from the end of the show, but two important questions. First question would be, going forward, in future, what do you think about, what are your thoughts about overcoming hurdles like these pandemics, medical emergencies, anything in future? How do you think this should be handled? And my follow-up question after the last question, which you can definitely flow into, is how can everybody get involved?
So I will answer the second question first.
Okay.
Everybody's involved already. You don't know it.
Okay.
We are all exposed to COVID. We are all exposed to this virus. Our families are hurting either here or in other countries or other part of the world. Everyone I know has lost someone close. Every single person I know. We all have lost. So we are all connected. We are all connected with this red color blood. We all have the red color. If you don't have red color blood, I don't know what to do about you.
Probably a mosquito.
So
how can people get involved with UAC, United Against COVID? How can people get involved with helping more people, with your organization?
Well, you can definitely reach out to me on Instagram. That's the best way to do it, or LinkedIn, either way, or Facebook, doesn't matter. You can reach out to me any way you want. You want to donate, of course, you can donate. But more than that, think of ways, how can we help a larger community? Because it's not just about raising funds or donating. It's about impacting life. My strong request is adopt a kid.
Okay.
You don't have to adopt him. Adopt a student. Pay for his education.
Sponsor
we all in Silicon Valley, it's a small thing. It's few $1,000s. We all can afford few $1,000s. Just imagine and think of it as not like you are helping the kid. Think of helping your own future, because the world we are going to create collaboratively, that is the word. I'm okay, but this is not a donation. I'm taking it as a privilege. That if I can do that and this kid is going to lead the future of the world, how amazing will that be?
Yes.
And that's my contribution to the world. That is amazing. Not contribution to this kid. And that thought inspires me. People ask me, Sanjiv, why you get so inspired? Why are you so passionate? I'm working on the future. I'm trying to build a future I want. And the only way I can do it is by adopting a student. So you want to partner with us? Go and adopt a student in your village, in your town, in your family, anywhere. Does not matter. Take care of his education. Mentor him. Be part of his life. Be his big brother or big sister. We don't need a structure for that. We don't need an organization for that. We used to do it in olden time. People used to come from village and stay in somebody's house and grow up. It was very common when we grew up.
Absolutely. So it doesn't even have to be through UAC, listeners. Like, how Sanjiv says, just do it. Find, you don't even have to go looking for someone. There are so many people who already need our help. And absolutely. And if somebody really wants to know why Sanjiv gets all excited and, thrilled about it, watch this video. So you will be, watch any video that Sanjiv does about COVID or these shows. You will see how enthusiastic he is about, you see how into he is about the cause. Thank you, Sanjiv. We are at the end of the show. I wish we could just go on and on, the global summit. We had so much time to talk about things. I wish we had more time to talk about this topic as well. But listeners, definitely connect with Sanjiv Goyal on Instagram, on Facebook. You can connect with him and be a part of United Against COVID. Thank you, Sanjiv. I hope I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Ra. Thank you very much for having me.